Hello guys, welcome back. I'm going to keep this video short, and it's some sad news unfortunately. I've had to sell my 2007 Range Rover Sport. I've owned it for just over 3 months and I did an average of about just under 1,000 miles every month. So I had it for 3 months, did about 3,000 miles on it, and yeah, I've sold it already. In this video I'm going to be talking about the reason why I sold it, so let's go. The reason I sold the car, as I mentioned in my previous video, when you buy one of these cars, you can expect things to go wrong. Nothing goes wrong on them any more than any other car that I've owned. The problem is the cost to repair the things that go wrong on them are a lot more. And that's what I mentioned before. So I mentioned you need to have some money set aside. I also mentioned that I had about 1,500 and I didn't feel that that was quite enough. And I also mentioned that if I had any issues and I felt I couldn't maintain it or afford to keep it, I would sell it. And that's what happened. So I'd spent about £700-800 on it already. And let me just quickly run through. So the tyres, I believe, were too big, which was causing it to hit the front driver's tyre to hit the wheel arch as you go around a roundabout if you did it too quickly. So it needed at least a front two set of tyres. In my mind, I wanted to replace the full lot with a decent pair, so that would have set me back about a bare minimum of 800, and that's probably wishful thinking. So in my mind that needed doing. I had an issue with this was the issue that was bugging me the most. This is the reason I sold it. So when the temperature dropped below 0 degrees Celsius, below freezing, the suspension would say normal height only and it wouldn't rise or lower. Above 0 degrees, completely fine. Worked as it should, rise, lower, no issues. Now, I'd already spent some money on the battery. I had it serviced, I had the wheel aligned. So, as I said, that had me about £500-600, maybe 700. Out of my initial budget of when I bought the car, okay, it's going to need stuff doing, I had 1,500 set aside, so I'm about 700 in. And at this point now, I've identified that the key thing here is the compressor needs doing. Now, you can get one of them from eBay for under 300. So that's that puts me up to roughly £1,000. And then also the front two tires probably all around. So that's going to put me over my 1,500 that I had set aside. And then because of that, there was no guarantee that I could have replaced the pump, and then the problem could have been ride height level sensors. The problem could have been a leak in the airbag. I don't think it was that. I do not think there was a leak in any of the suspension air struts, but it could have been. And the point is, I'm now £700 in. I had to make the decision. Do I want to go up to my budget doing what I think will fix it? And how will that make me feel if I do that and now I'm over my budget and the problem's still not fixed? And I decided I didn't want to do it. So I sold it. I sold it to a guy who I believe has the resources to look after it properly. I was completely honest with him. When he came to view it, first thing I said, he came on a cold morning actually, and it wasn't below freezing though, so there was no faults on the dash. He came, I told him all the issues, I told him what I had done, and I also allowed him, he brought a mechanic with him, I allowed them to plug their OBD scanner in, and they were happy with it and they picked it up. Now, I sold it for a loss of about £1,000, which you lose £1,000 in 3 months isn't great. But it helped me move house, so it saved me some money there. Did it save me £1,000? No, it probably saved me maybe 500 if I'm being optimistic. If I'm trying to make myself feel better, I'll say it saved me £500 because it helped me move house. And I just had a real great time while I had it. I love the ride height. I love the space that you got in there. As I said, it helped me move house. The chairs are comfortable. I mean, it was 17 years old and the leather was still soft. I love the car. I've got to say, it was a fantastic car to own, and I'm glad I owned it. To wrap up, guys, Was the Range Rover a bad choice? Yes, it wasn't the best purchase in vehicles I've ever made. Do I regret buying the Range Rover? No, I don't at all. And I really hope the guy that picked it up is having a great time with it and it's not costing him too much. I hope that the issues he's managed to resolve, and I hope he's going to get a good few years of use out of it. But I don't regret it, and I still stand by everything I said in my previous videos. If you want one, do your research. Based on my experience, 1,500 is not enough. I would say have 3,000. That's what I would say. Have $3,000 set aside for anything that may go wrong. They're not going to break any more than a normal car, but it's going to cost you more. So just have that in your mindset when you look for one. And that's it, guys. Till the next one, take care. Bye bye.